How's it going, everyone? This is Connor here at the Game House, and I'm here today because Freya was just too strong. The patch we put out day one has been hotfixed, and for a few days now has been pretty much obsolete because the main ability that build was built around was taken off of Freya's kit. So I'm here today now to give some alternate thoughts on how to build this character in Overwatch 2 Stadium. If you have not checked out the first video, honestly, it's not as worth checking out now because again, the main ability it was called Lilifald was completely taken off for kit. I don't know if they plan to add it back, so this one is another video that could just get destroyed by the Overwatch 2 developers. But in the meantime, I want to talk about kind of with her remaining kit, what I think is the best way to build this character in Overwatch 2 Stadium. And this is with some testing. I wanted to wait, get a few games in with her, and I've done so, and I have a build that I like, and it's kind of fun. So this is going to be a build structured around updraft, and actually using that to get as many take aims as you can, and still use take aim to be an effective damage dealer and part of the kit. So this is actually going to start with Cyclone. This was actually our old round 7 item, but now, whenever you updraft, you will fire a bullet shot, or a take aim shot rather, at your location. So what this is going to mean is that early game, you're really not that strong. I'll just be honest. I don't think this really moves the needle much for a round 1 move, but still something to give you some utility whenever you do updraft. Then you can do things like updraft, fire one, fire another one, and get at least some burst potential there, if you are able to string those together fast enough. Let's look at round 3 now, because this, I feel like once you get to round 3, I feel like this build does start to take off a little bit, and there is some functionality and some differences for how you can do this. So I would say option 1 here is Mighty Gust, an ability that I thought was interesting last time, but not one that really moved the needle for me much. The only problem is that it does scale off of ability, and we're really looking for weapon here. So this one I would actually, I don't know, this is very situational, but I would probably go away from this one. I actually think we're going to be looking at something right here. So either take aim, explosion radius being increased by 33%, double this if the bolt is stuck to a target. This just helps because, again, you're proccing take aim as many times as possible here. When take aim bolt sticks an enemy, automatically fire 3 additional crossbow shots, then to deal 66% reduced damage. Seeker point. This was our round 5 in the last one. And then we have Redux here. Rev draw crossbow hits against targets stuck by a take aim bolt or bolt shot. Reduce the cooldown of your abilities by 5% and refunds 1 ammo. So basically what we have here are 3 options. These are the 3 that we're going to be building throughout the build with 3, 5, and 7. I think it's important that you start with this because this is going to get you just an extra an extra take aim, just to give you some more of that as possible. But I would actually play this as it lies as far as your game situation goes. But I think your safest bet is probably going to be Seismic Shot. I would actually do this first in round 3. So now, when we updraft, do that, get a slightly larger explosion radius to confirm those kills a little bit easier. And again, you're obviously still going to be doing your kind of classic Freya primary firing as well, but the emphasis here is going to be, hey, I'm in the back line, my teammates are fighting, I'm going to spring up and use my take aims to do some damage there. Okay. So let's look back at the build. By this point, you'll have some weapons, so let's kind of look at some options that you could go with here. These 2 blues that are specific to Freya, I don't think are going to move the needle too much outside of Tracker Tag. Tracker Tag was on the last build as well, and I still think this is a really good item for you. Also, the max ammo is just really nice with the Rev Draw crossbow. The 16 bullets versus I think it's 12 is a pretty big difference. Yeah, 12 normally. So those extra 4 bullets are pretty significant. Give you a lot of options. This one, though, portable zipline is still going to be arguably the most important part of the build. Eliminations reset both charges of quick dash cooldown. So that's still going to be something we're looking at. This Bola Shot magnetic maelstrom that we were using is no longer near as good because we're not proccing Bola Shot very often at all. You could do this if you wanted some cooldown reduction and some updraft height. I don't know that updraft height is something I'm usually looking for. This would actually be interesting here too, though. This Arrow Weave Cloak could be an interesting item. 100% take aim slowed movement duration. While momentum is slowed by take aim, restore 5% life every 1 second. Some sustain there. After using updraft, reset quick dash and gain 50 over health for 5 seconds. This could be another one as well. We're going to be updrafting a lot. And these toxin tips are also very good. Take aim bolt sticks and explosions slow enemies by 30%, but takes 1 second longer to explode. That's one I actually don't hate now, because you're going to be just firing these off so often. It's quite a bit longer. It really is. That is why I don't like it. It gives Kiriko's more time to cleanse. It gives the enemy team more time to kind of work around it. So I actually probably wouldn't go that direction. If it were just me, I'd probably go with Hard Light Accelerator here as a core item. I would go with Portable Zipline as an item. And then I might actually look at this one right here, Tourniquet. Maybe even Arrowweave Cloak. But I feel like this as a starting build is pretty good. You have a lot of take aim synergy, good weapon power, good cooldown reduction. This, what I talked about in the last iteration of this build, kind of the day one build. This just feels really good for Freya because of the ability to dash, updraft, fully proc that, and have just a ton of weapon damage for that short bit of time after you do that. So let's look back now at the build and back at power. So these will be kind of your item bases here. I kind of like to do this after the round 3 section of the build because this is really when you start to get into some of these purple items. You have the opportunity to probably buy 1 or 2. After that, I think it really is a choice between Secret Point and Redux here. I tend to think that Redux would be good here, maybe even as a second choice, because again, just this cooldown reduction is really nice to be able to spam, especially when you have Hard Light Accelerator. So Redux feels like a pretty good spot for that. And then this Secret Point would be the last one. So this is at least potentially what full build looks like. You heard those kind of 3 bullets proc from there. I can do it again to kind of show you what it looks like. So we would hop up, 3 shots, dealt with pretty fast. We'll do it one more time here. So just a lot of burst. The important thing to note when you're playing this, if I were to give some kind of gameplay tips, is that you do, if you're going for max damage, I would get used to double dashing, hopping, and then going, and I even did it wrong there, because you're going to want to, on your updraft, you need to have your reticle pointed at what you're shooting at. So if you're going to dash, then you updraft, it needs to be, again, pointed at the target. You're firing 3 bullets, so if that first take aim kills something like that one did, you can move your crosshair around and try and get something else, but it is hard to do. So yeah, this is, I would say though, the best available Freya build that I think you can do right now. I have a feeling they're going to add in some more powers for her, but if you're looking for just a solid game, these items should get you through the first 5 rounds. If you were to go for anything after that, maybe this attack speed, because of the move speed you get from ability use. Ammo is always good for her. Also, weapon power, always just good. I wouldn't necessarily go for crits, but I would go for Eye of the Spider potentially. If you're feeling weak, you can always go for some survival items here too. Sitting at 100% ult charge item, I'm not a huge fan of, but a lot you can do otherwise. If you were to go a different direction with the build entirely, I would just go pure weapon. I mean, we're doing kind of the pure weapon build that they suggest here already, but if you were to really go for it, I would say this is still a good item. This volley is still a very good item. I've done a pure primary fire build where I do go for this, and it does feel pretty good. If you were to do that, I would probably go volley first, then probably forager. After that, I feel like that's kind of your main spike, honestly. Maybe deep pockets just to get some more ammo, and then probably Redux at the end. So if I were to do full primary fire, this is probably would be what I would be doing. just looking for as many shots as you can, getting ammo refilled from the ability use, all that good stuff. That's how I would play it if you wanted kind of an alternative version of my build. But I hope this helps. Obviously, really unfortunate to see that they kind of put her in a little too strong to start, but I still think Freya, even with that ability taken out, is extremely viable in Stadium. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this build. Good luck in Stadium, and if they hot patch this again, I'll be sure to update it, and I'll update the article on the website as well. So, thank you all so much for tuning in here at the Game House. We'll see y'all next time for more Overwatch 2 Stadium builds. See ya.